Not really sure what this music is supposed to be. Alright. Everything looks like it's working properly. Hello, hello. Been a while since my last stream. 4 months, actually. So, my last stream was a gaming stream. Specifically, a console game stream. And if I recall correctly, it worked out a lot better than I thought it would. There were no hiccups. I was ready for a ton, but there weren't. Yeah. And after that test stream, I was planning on doing another stream the following week, this time an animation stream, just to see how my setup can handle that. I'm pretty sure my setup can handle it if it was able to handle a console stream without any hiccups. Thing is, the week after that, I think it was February, according to Twitch. The week after that got busy. And next thing I knew, spring break came along and I had to go, and I went on a family trip. And then while I was there, I got sick. And when I came back, I just lost motivation to stream. But better late than never, I guess, even though this is yet another test stream 4 hours after the last test stream I did. But what are you gonna do? So, for this stream, this is probably gonna be a really short stream. I'm just gonna do a quick little animation stream. Specifically, I'm gonna work on a short little animation that I've been working on for, I want to say about a week, but really it's only been like a couple of days that I've been working on this. But before I get to that, there's probably something else I should mention. So, about a month ago, I started working on something else because I got morbidly curious. And it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. In fact, why don't I just show you what I've been working on since I've just finished it rather recently. I say recently, but the cab members will probably call me out on that. Alright. Alright, moment of truth. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Yeah. So, about a month ago, yeah, May, it was in May, I started working on a VTuber avatar with my art style. It's a little bit finicky, specifically the eyes. I'm not blinking, I don't know why. But yeah, other than that, it works really well, surprisingly. And it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I think this only took me like 2 or 3 weeks to make. I think the hardest part was actually drawing this. But yeah. Yeah. The tracking's really good though. I can look left, I can look right, I can blink. And it doesn't like blinking when I'm looking up, like I'm blinking right now. But I think my avatar's not blinking at all. Fortunately, I don't look up very often, so there's that. Also, apparently I have to look up a bit for the mouth to be more responsive. But yeah, it works really well. The only thing that I don't like is the movement is mirrored. Like, you know how when you look in a mirror, you look left, your reflection looks to your left? That's basically what's happening here. It's mirroring my movement, and I disagree. I disagree with that. Because in Live 2D, when I was rigging this thing, or more specific, well no, let me elaborate. I was watching the official tutorials, and according to the tutorial, the parts that said, the parameters that said right eye was, like I said, it was mirrored. Like, according to the tutorials, the right eye is actually the left eye, and the left eye was the right eye. So I had to mark the avatar's right eye as the right eye. So I was assuming, and the left eye as the left eye. So I was assuming that it wouldn't be mirrored, which I'm okay with, and in fact I would have preferred that. And instead, it said it's mirrored. I disagree with that. At the very least, there should be an option to invert it. Maybe there is, and I just haven't found it because I'm stupid. But yeah, other than that, it works fine. What else was I gonna say about this? There was some. It was just on the back of my mind right now. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. It's not very complex. It's a very simple model. I don't think there's even a I don't think I even bothered putting a breathing animation for this thing. And it only has one expression, but honestly, that suits me perfectly. I'm just constantly in like resting bitch face mode. And if I squint my eyes a bit, I can look like I'm just done with it, done with everything, which is also very true to life. Speaking of true to life, yeah, this VTuber model is literally just me in real life. Obviously with a few liberties here and there. This is I actually had another version of this model earlier, like back in May, that I never showed off. But the thing about that one is it was boring. Like literally the only difference between this model, which I'm calling 1.0, and the previous model that I'm calling 0.5 is the jacket was closed. Like the jacket was closed, and at first I was satisfied, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized the torso area just looked very empty. So I made another one, and I had to start over from scratch, specifically with the rigging, which is unfortunate because the rigging part was a little tedious, but I was able to manage. The reason for that is because I don't remember because here's the thing. For Live 2D, you have to export it as a PSD file, which I did. But I did not create it using Photoshop. I used a separate application, Affinity Designer. I used Affinity Designer, and I saved it as a PSD, but I never saved the original file. Or no. Okay, here's what I did. I opened up Affinity Designer. If you don't know what Affinity Designer is it's vector graphics software, and the thing is, when I have multiple projects, multiple canvases opened in that one file, and the thing is, when you export it as a PSD, I forget what happens, but it gets all weird and fucky, basically. So I had to copy and paste the finalized thing into a different Affinity Designer project that only has one canvas. Hey David. That only has one canvas, and it was... Where was I? I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just showing off my VTuber avatar. But where was I? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, basically I had to copy and paste the whole thing into a separate Affinity Designer project that this time one that has one canvas, and then save that one as a PSD file. Problem is, I never saved the one with the Affinity Designer project with only one canvas, so I think I used the wrong settings when I made it. When I realized that, I think I created a new Affinity Designer project and copied and pasted from the old one to this new one, and I think I put the wrong resolution because when I imported it into Live 2D, it just yeah. Live 2D is smart. It kept all the rigging, but I think the resolution was wrong because everything was like off, so I had to re-rig it from scratch. So yeah, that's how I made this, and that's the hell that I went through to make this new version that I didn't make. This new... what did I just say? To make this new version that replaced the old version that I showed off to the other cab members. And they... for those who don't know, the cab members were the ones who worked on the animation for the bumper. We have like a little Discord server. I think everybody was showing their VTuber models, and I was just showing what I was working on. I don't think they've seen this 1.0 model. I think they've only seen the point... I think I've only ever showed them the 0.5. But yeah. But yeah, this only took me about... well, the original one only took me about 2 or 3 weeks to make, which was surprising. I think the hardest part was... the hardest part was drawing this thing, because unlike most people who use Photoshop or Clip Studio, I used Affinity Designer. And like I said, Affinity Designer is vector graphics software, so yeah, it's very round. If you've ever used Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape, it's very roundabout. Do you programming or just make animations and designs? I make animations and designs mostly. I've also been doing programming, but mostly animations and designs. I also do programming. I'm going on a tangent here, but I think very recently I programmed a system. I made like a small like project to store my parents' passwords and stuff, because I was getting sick of writing their passwords everywhere because they can't remember it. So I made a little program that stores and encrypts the passwords. The passwords are stored onto a pen drive and nowhere else. So I just put in the pen drive, used the program to decrypt it, and there it is. Because I got sick of them putting their passwords everywhere and having to write it everywhere. But yeah, I mostly do animations and designs. Like this stream I'm gonna work on a short little animation, and oh wow, it's already been 20 minutes. Yeah, this stream I'm gonna work on an animation. My last stream, like I said, my last stream was a gaming stream, and that worked out fine. Now I want to test out if my computer will explode or not when I'm doing an animation stream. It should be fine, because when I did that Monster Hunter Rise stream back in February, it didn't explode. The only hiccup was that apparently the Switch fans were causing my desk to rumble, and my microphone was picking that up. And despite all the noise, despite all the filters I have on it, it can't deal with rumbling. So, yeah. So yeah, for this stream I'm gonna work on an animation stream. It should go just fine. My Switch is not screaming, so it should be fine. But yeah, yeah, what was I gonna do? Okay, so I'm not good at coming up with topics, so I literally have a bunch of notes over here on things that I can talk about. And I just looked over at it, and well, one thing is the Coliseum bumper. I can talk about that. But below that is a different topic talking about my spring break, and the first thing I see underneath that is fuck Austin. I think I remember what that was. But I think what I want to talk about first is the color. Before I start talking about that, I'm gonna move over to the design screen and get started on this animation because I'm already 20 minutes in. And what happened to the music? There. Okay. I'm just gonna move. Alright, let me move OBS over here. Alright. Alright, this is just gonna be a really short animation. I've been working on this for like a couple days now. Well, technically 2 weeks, but I've only really been working on it for a couple of days. It's a really short one just to sort of get back on it. But yeah. While I'm working on this, I guess I should talk about the TRG Coliseum back in February, I think it was. Yeah, long time coming. Everyone else in the cab team has already talked about it on Twitter and on their live streams, and all I did was do a really brief tweet. So yeah, 4 months late. So yeah, where are my notes? Oh yeah. Where are my notes? Okay, here we go. The thing about I need to readjust this, hang on. So yeah, once we decided what we were all going to work on, oh my god. So yeah, the thing about the cab bumper that we made for TRG Coliseum is, my bit only took me like 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, it took me just as long to make that as it took my new little VTuber avatar. But yeah, it only took me like 2 or 3 weeks. I worked on the more difficult ones first. And yeah. I worked on the more difficult ones first, which is the one where Tim and Lord Donator are working on. Oh my god, I'm putting this on the. Or the one where Tim and Lord Donator are readying their lightsabers, because that's definitely the hardest part. That was definitely the hardest part. So when I decided, yeah, I'm gonna get those out of the way first, so that that way getting it done will be a lot easier. And there we go. And sure enough, yeah, I think that both of those shots only took me like a couple of days. And then And then everything else was much easier because it was just still images. Honestly, I think most of the work was those two shots and making everything look good, because I use the glow effect a lot in that, because I really love the glow effect in Toon Boom. Well, actually, I love the glow effect in anything, actually. And working on a Star Wars related thing meant, oh, I can do a lot of cool stuff with lighting. All right. But yeah, I think I stole it from somebody else, because we had a list. I think I was late to the meeting, but when I showed up, but by the time I showed up, we had a list of different skits to work on. And I saw the Star Wars skit, and I'm like, I just show up, and I'm like, I call dibs on that one if no one else has called it. And I forget who it was, but they said, all yours. And that's how I ended up with it. And it only took me 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I say it took me 2 or 3 weeks, but honestly, that was just the visuals, the animation. I didn't really submit it until mid-January, I want to say, because the hard part was finding audio for it. At first, I thought it would be easy to find lines for Tim and Donator, but a lot of, and I did find some good quotes, but the problem was all of the quotes that I could find for them, they had a lot of background noise, unfortunately. Do I want to do this, or... Yeah, I think this might be better. But yeah, the lines that I found for them had a lot of background noise, and it was very... very distracting, and did not sound very good, especially since a lot of them were, like, their voices sounded good. The problem was the background noise that was impossible to get rid of. So I had to keep looking. Tim was easy. The one when he says, well, here goes nothing. I don't remember where that's from. I forgot where I got that quote from. But yeah, I was looking through some of Tim's stuff and some of TRG's stuff, and the thing is, I tried looking up like best of compilations, because I figured that would be the best way to find quotes for Tim, and sure enough, yeah. At least I think that's where I got it. Like I said, I don't remember where I got Tim's line from. But yeah, he was easy. The hard part was Lord Donator, because every shot that I found had a lot of background noise. It sounds familiar. What is this music? Never mind, never mind. Ghosts, Ghouls and Ghosts, never mind. I've never played that game. But yeah, so, and then while I was talking about this in one cab meeting, Ben, the guy who organized this whole thing, he suggested Tom Fox's Pikmin 1 playthrough. It wasn't exact, like this was years before he created the Lord Donator character. But it was close. And yeah, it was. But here's the thing. There were a lot of good quotes, but I wanted to find a quote that would fit the scene that I was working on. I have not been working on this at all. But yeah. The thing is, I have not been working on the... Like... Okay, brain reset. Oh yeah, the thing is, it had to fit, and there had to be just enough, like... Just enough. There had to be, like, no background noise or very little background noise so that I could use it. And... It was not easy. I basically marathoned the entire Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 playthroughs. And there's like over 50 of those episodes. So, but I like marathon through, and I kept notes. Like whenever I heard a quote that I could use, that I could possibly use, but wasn't too sure, I would write it down with a link and a timestamp of the video that I heard it in. And before I knew it, I had like a list of like 50 quotes that I could use that I wasn't too sure of. And hang on, it's been a while since I looked at the animation. What did Lord Donator ultimately end up saying? Oh yeah, the hope will be gone quote and the inexcusable. So the hope will be gone actually came from his Pikmin playthrough. I don't remember where it came from. There are a lot of good quotes from his Pikmin playthrough. Just watch the whole thing, honestly. I think it was when he was going to the Garden of Hope and he was like, I'm going to destroy their hope or something. I don't remember what exactly he said. But I'm pretty sure it was when he got to the Garden of Hope and he was like, once again the hope will be gone or something like that. And that's where I got the quote from, but I had like 50 other quotes. I deleted it, so I can't really read. No, actually, did I get... Hang on. Looking. Please. Oh, do I still have it? Yes, I still have it. Potential Tom quotes. Here we go. Okay, so the one that I used is actually at the very top, so it was probably very soon. Hang on, let me just move this over here. Here we go. So, the top quote is, once again the hope will be gone. Forever. And the second quote was, oh, for goodness sake, stop. Just stop. The third one says, oh my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I don't remember the context for that. I don't remember the context for any of these. Thank you for that, you useless pile of dung. Oh my... ... one that just says, damn you. Well, as it would seem, I've done all I could. I don't remember the context for any of these. Farewell, you fool. Oh, that one I almost used. He was going, like, I have an earlier edit where he was going to say farewell, you fool, after he ignites his lightsaber. But I got rid of it after I added the Tom glitch. The Tom glitch sound effect, which you may or may not have noticed because it's very faint. But when he ignites his lightsaber, the hum of the lightsaber is actually Tom's glitch. His glitch sound effect when he's, you know, when he's like talking and he has this effect where it makes it sound like he just froze, like the computer just crashed. I actually used that for the hum. That was actually Techno Hornist's idea. Like when I showed everyone like my finished. Oh god, I just had breakfast. But yeah, that was actually Techno Hornist's idea. They suggested that, hey, you should use Tom's crash sound effect for that. And they sent me a Twitch clip of when he uses it. and I was thinking about it and I decided to put it in. The main motivation for me putting in was because Ben, like I said, the organizer behind the cab team, he hates it. Yeah, when Techno recommended the Tom sound effect, Ben saw it and he was like, "That gives me PTSD." Like it makes him scared that his computer's crashing. And when I saw that, I'm like, well, now I have to put it in. So I put it in, and that's what was I originally talking about? Oh yeah, and that's why I got rid of the farewell you fool quote. He was originally gonna say that when he ignited his lightsaber, but I got rid of it in favor of the glitch hum. Now, I know I can put them both. I can just put it on a separate like audio layer, but I wanted the glitch sound effect to be more audible, so I got rid of it. So I got rid of the quote. Yeah. But yeah, I put it in. Techno was really happy when they saw that it was in, and Ben was like, ugh. Yeah, he hates that sound effect, and that's why I put it in. Where was I? Oh yeah, the quotes. Oh yeah. After that, I've got look at them all, ready for the plucking and the slaving. Don't remember the. Oh yeah. Apparently, he was calling the pigmen his slaves. All right. I don't remember the context for this one. Are you kidding me? Following me back here of all places? I guess he... Forgot to leave an example. He kept leaving behind like 1 or 2 pigmen intentionally every single mission. Oh look, it's one of these things. This one is paraphrased. I swear to you, brackets, you will not see the end of the day like I will. That brackets means I paraphrased it. I don't remember what the exact quote was. The other ones are, well, farewell then. And the last one is the other one that I used. Inexcusable says I, inexcusable. That one is actually not from... Okay, let me just close this so I can actually work on this. But yeah, that quote is actually not from either of his Pikmin Let's Plays. It's actually from his Lord Donator segment from a previous Coliseum. Because I got desperate trying to find quotes for him that sounded good, and I eventually found him saying, inexcusable says I, when he was doing that call-in segment when the other ones were calling him and driving him insane. And that's when I heard that. Oh yeah, and when I found that video, I remember there was like Bowser music, like the Bowser's World music from Super Mario 3D World. And I think that's what gave me the inspiration to use Bowser music for the skit, for my skit basically. And as soon as I decided, yeah, Bowser music, that'll be good. And then Bowser's Fury came into mind. So I started listening to some Bowser's Fury music, and there's some good music there, and eventually... I found... I wasn't going to use the obvious, like, music that appears in the Bowser's Fury trailer, but... So I kept looking, and I eventually found the one that I ended up using. Thing is, we weren't sure whether or not to use it since it's technically copyrighted music. So Techno Hornus volunteered to like make a remix of it. And they did. And it was pretty good. That's all I have to say about that. Let's make one right here. But yeah, Techno Hornus did an amazing job with the remixes they made, because they didn't just work on mine, they worked on others as well. Oh yeah, before I forget to mention, Camille, one of John's mods who's also a part of CAB, she was the one who designed Lord Donator's lamp saber. Yeah, at first it was just gonna be like I was just gonna make it a generic looking lightsaber just like Tim's. But then Camille, out of nowhere, suggested, hey, why don't we make Donator's lightsaber lamp themed? And then she posted like 4 sketches of potential designs for it. I went with the one that I picked because that one looks the closest like a lamp while still looking like a lightsaber. And it was pretty good. Like, I think I copied it like exactly down to the very last detail. I wasn't sure if the thing in the middle was supposed to be like a little light, like for a tiny little candle fire. I just added that in. that was a detail in her sketch. I didn't bother asking. I should have asked, but that was the first thing. That was the first thing that popped in my mind. So I made that like a little candle for the lamp in the middle when he ignites the lightsaber. But yeah, shoutouts to Camille for coming up with that idea and making the design for it. What was I doing? Okay. Okay, there's no detail here, so I'm just gonna roll with this. I probably shouldn't have showed that part. All right. Okay, there we go. But yeah, for that animation, like, when I saw the... So this goes back to when I said that we came up with ideas, and we were picking what we wanted to do. When I saw that, like, instantly because the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show was pretty new, was pretty recent back then when we were picking ideas. And that was the first thing that popped into my mind. That scene at the end where they're like getting ready to fight. That scene immediately popped into my head, and I figured I can probably do like a spoof of that. So yeah. That was probably my main inspiration. I think my biggest inspiration was probably the Clone Wars, which Star Wars The Clone Wars, which I grew up with as a kid. Because I just loved the... Well, most of all, I loved the clones, but I loved the lighting effects. Like, not just with the 3D cartoon, but also the 2D Genndy Tartakovsky cartoon as well. I just love the visual effects with like the lightsabers and everything, especially when they're in the dark. And they brought that in with that final fight in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. And I kind of wanted to do that because I love those kinds of visuals where it's like you have like these really strong but really focused lights in like dark areas. It just looks so good. Like, I just love those kinds of visuals. There we go. Like, but yeah, I just love those kinds of visuals. I made a lot of use of the glow effect in Toon Boom for that animation. Like, I want to... Oh yeah, speaking of the lighting, I think the hardest part about the animation, aside from the two shots where they're actually like moving around, is the shading. Because here's the thing about Toon Boom. I think it's masking. No, not masking. I don't know. There's a masking feature, and it's exclusive to Advanced and Premium. I don't have either of those. I just have Toon Boom Essentials, which is the cheapest one. So the shading effects that I did for that little animation, they would have been much easier. Like, it would have been much easier if I had advanced or premium. Is it called premium? I don't know. Problem is they're expensive. I think advanced is like $600, $800 or something, like, or something insane like that. And premium is like past $100, past $1,000, not 100. And it's like, yeah, I can't afford that. Yeah, I can't afford that. So I'm gonna stick with essentials, and I'll just do it the hard way. So basically, I made the shading on a separate layer. I basically copied and pasted every single asset, like every single layer that made up a character, and pasted it onto one new separate layer. And then I made them all black. Then I turned down the opacity, and I used the eraser tool to create like the shadings. And so yeah, if you look at the animation and you look at the shading, that shading is a separate layer. I basically, like I said, I took all the assets from all the characters' body parts, made it black, and then used the eraser tools to shape the shadows on their bodies. Oh god. Alright. So yeah, not the most optimal way to do shadows, but like I said, I have essentials. I work with what I got. So yeah, it was kind of a pain, but I think I got good with the pain. Got good with the pain. Yeah, I got good with the pain after a while. Does this have... Yeah, it has that. Okay. Oh, in fact, I could probably demonstrate what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna put shadows on this, but... Alright. So here's basically what I did. I basically... No. So I copied and pasted everything onto... onto a separate layer, made them all black, and then I turned down the opacity, and then used the... Let me get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. Turn down the opacity, and then I... Where's the... There we go. Then I used the eraser to like give the shadow some shape. Then I just deleted the extra. And that's basically what I did. And I did it for everything. Like I said, not the most optimal way to do shadows, but I only have essentials, so I only have... So what are you gonna do? do I want this? What is this? Those ink blocks are pandas from Skyrim. I've never played Skyrim. I have Skyrim on my PC. I got it ever since I got this new PC, but I have not played it. There are a lot of PC games that I have not played yet. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna make this little guy freaked out. Why? You'll just have to wait until this is finished. I don't think I'm gonna finish this on stream. I think I'm just gonna make this single shot and call it a stream. But yeah, it's a really short animation. This is the first one I've worked on in a while. I've been focused on some other stuff, especially my little VTuber model, which I can't see because my notes are covering it up. Here we go. But yeah. But yeah, working on these TRG animations was fun. Oh yeah, I've noticed that this is like the second time. How many times have I done this? I've only been in cab for 2 years. I'm pretty sure it's only been 2 years because I think I've only made 2 animations for TRG Coliseum. But yeah, I've been a part of this group. I've been a part of this team for 2 years now. And both animations that I made were like Tim Skywalker animations. I never thought that little animation that I made before I joined this team would take on a life of its own. Because the first animation that I made because I made that little like that Tim Skywalker animation as a bit for one Coliseum. I posted it on Twitter. Everyone saw it. I didn't think that would take on a life of its own. When I joined Cab for the first time and I worked on my segment, it ended up being a Tim Skywalker parody. And it was a Tim Skywalker animation. And it was a parody of Samurai Showdown or whatever the fuck that minigame is called from Rhythm Heaven. Because that was the year we did that Rhythm Heaven animation, and my bit was... What is that minigame called? Is it... No, Samurai Showdown is a game series. It's the one with the samurai cutting, like, ghosts and stuff. But yeah, it ended up being a Tim Skywalker animation, and Mal was there too. Oh yeah, I never really talked about that one. I never really talked about that animation, did I? Long story short, that was the best I could come up with. The main reason I made Tim Skywalker was because I love action, I liked Star Wars visuals, so I decided to make a Star Wars one. Like, I volunteered to do the Samurai Slice parody because I never mentioned this to anyone, but I'm not really into Rhythm Heaven. Like, that was my first project as part of the cab team. And I wasn't sure I was gonna do well because I just don't care for Rhythm Heaven. Like, I remember we had like a list of things that we wanted to parody, and there were like 6 things on this list, and I really liked 5 of them. Like, I had ideas for 5 of them. The only one that I did not care for was the Rhythm Heaven parody. So eventually we left it up to a vote. And we basically had to, it was a weird vote. We had to like give points. We had to rank each one based on how much we wanted to do that idea. And for me, Rhythm Heaven was bottom, man. It was in the bottom. I do not care for Rhythm Heaven. I've never played it. I've seen it, but and unfortunately for me, it won by an overwhelming majority. Everybody else wanted to do Rhythm Heaven. So internally I was like, fuck. So when I saw something that alright, what? So then I was like, alright, how can I make this work, at least for me? And then I saw the samurai mini game, and it's like, that's the closest thing I'm willing to do. So, oh god. Yeah. You know that feeling when you need to sneeze and it just won't come out? Oh. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I saw the Samurai Showdown thing and I'm like, okay, how can I make this work? Tim Skywalker, fuck it. And that was how. And that's pretty much why I made it, because I like Star Wars. More specifically, I like the visuals of Star Wars. And yo, this song's actually kicks ass. This is a Binding of Isaac song. Dos Alas. Two Wings. Is that a parody of One Winged Angel? Oh yeah, I've never oh yeah, speaking of One Winged Angel, I've never played Final Fantasy before. I'm thinking of streaming a Final Fantasy game eventually, because I've never played one. And one of my mutuals recommended Final Fantasy games to me, and the one she specifically Chillax, she was the one who recommended me a Final Fantasy game. She recommended Final Fantasy IX. There was a sale. I bought it. This was like 2 years ago. Maybe even longer. I don't remember. And I've not played it. I'm thinking about streaming it, because if I don't play it on stream, I'm probably never going to play it. So it's mostly just a way of forcing myself to play it, because I just haven't gotten around to it. And I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom recently. That's gonna eat up the rest of the year for me. So I'm thinking about playing Final Fantasy IX on stream eventually. The only thing I have not decided on is where I'm going to stream it, because here's the thing. I've been considering streaming on YouTube for a while now. The only thing that's stopping me from streaming on YouTube is anxiety, because I have like 6,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So there would be like performance anxiety, whereas here I have very few viewers and very few followers here on Twitch, so it's a lot easier for me. And if I stream on YouTube, I'm definitely going to stream on my main YouTube channel. I already have another YouTube channel for my VODs, for my Twitch VODs. I don't feel like managing yet another Twitch channel, even though I'm fully aware that if I stream on YouTube, a lot of people are definitely going to unsubscribe. Because the thing about YouTube is, or more specifically YouTube viewers, is they expect every channel to be a one-trick pony. And that sucks. So if I stream on YouTube, I'm definitely going to stream on my main YouTube channel, mainly because my main YouTube channel is already monetized. And I don't feel like moderating, like running yet another YouTube channel. So yeah, if I do stream on YouTube, it'll definitely be on my main YouTube channel. I just haven't decided when or what. I don't think I'm gonna stream animation streams on YouTube. And if I do, it'll probably be members only streams. But yeah, the only thing keeping me from streaming on YouTube is performance anxiety, because I know I have a lot more followers on YouTube. I have like over 6,000 subscribers on YouTube versus 25 followers here on Twitch. So yeah. So yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be watching. People who probably have expectations of me because they've been following me for my animations for... How long have I been doing this? Six years, shit. 6 years. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I've kind of gone on a bit of a hiatus after last year. Last year was awful. Like, a lot of stuff happened, and it sucked. It's kind of killed my motivation, so I've just been focusing on other stuff aside from animations. Things like graphic design, like this little overlay that I'm using. I made this overlay myself. That's the thing about this past year. It's been a lot of making, not a lot of doing or showing. Like, I've been making a lot of stuff. I've been sitting on this VTuber avatar for a month, and I just haven't gotten around to streaming it because my motivation was just dead. So I've had this VTuber avatar with the intention of streaming with it for a month. More than a month, probably. But my lack of motivation and this past year kind of got the better of me. And that combined with my anxiety, not a good combination. Not a good combination. So, but here I am. And I do want to start streaming more regularly. Like, it's gotten a lot easier with just this one stream. And I do want to stream regularly. I know I said that in my last stream back in February. But it doesn't look like doesn't look like I'll be too busy. Because I will admit, one of the main reasons I didn't stream the week after my last stream and then beyond was because the very next week got surprisingly busy. And before I knew it, my spring break trip came along. And then I got sick, and combined with my demotivated status and my social anxiety, it's just yeah, last year was bad. And it just sort of bled into this year, unfortunately. Mostly because I let it bleed into this year, but it's getting better. But yeah. I'm not gonna go into detail about what happened last year, but yeah. Before I knew it, spring break came and I got sick and a lot of stuff happened. Oh yeah. Like I mentioned at the start of the stream, I'm not good at coming up with topics because this is an animation stream. Most of what I'm doing is gonna be talking. Like, this is basically a this is basically a podcast is what this is. A solo podcast. Where I'm just working on an animation in the background. I have not... Okay, I did something. Alright. Yeah, this is basically a podcast. Because a lot of what I'm gonna... Because the thing is, I don't want this stream to be too much dead air, even though that's basically what's gonna happen if I'm drawing. It's gonna be a lot of dead air. Because I can only focus on one thing at a time. I'm either animating or I'm talking. Like you've already seen how when I'm talking, I just stop animating, and when I start animating, I just go quiet. So, oh well. I did not change the... I should just leave it as what I'm gonna do. I did not... So you know how... So you know how Twitch lets you set your game, and you can also set it to just chatting and art? I thought about just setting it to just chatting for before I start and then changing it. I realize now, I can't trust myself to remember to change it. It's still in just chatting. I need to update this to art. I think I might just, from now on, I might just put it as what I'm going to do rather than what I'm currently doing. If it's not going to be the main focus. Okay, there. Is it? Okay, there. It should be fixed. Now it's set to art. It was set to just chatting this whole time. I don't think I'm going to be streaming for much longer, but whatever. Okay, well... Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, this thing's freaked out. But yeah, I fixed it. Hang on, let me check to make sure that it's fixed. Because I don't have Twitch open. Because I don't want to have Chrome open, because I don't want Chrome to eat up all my RAM while I'm streaming. Alright. Yeah, it's set to art now. Good. I also didn't tweet this out. Great. Oh well. Whatever, I'll just edit some... I'm gonna edit something up anyways, so... I'll just have to deal with it. Alright, well... Alright, anyway, what was I talking about before I... What was I talking about before I realized I didn't change? No. Oh yeah, I was talking about why I have topics written down. So yeah, I'm not good at coming up with topics, so I have notes written down on what to talk about, and I just saw fuck Austin again. And why did I bring this up? Oh yeah, and before I knew it... Oh yeah, I was talking about spring break coming along a lot faster than I expected. Yeah, time just went by. Yeah, after my last stream, things got busy, and then time just flew. Before I knew it, time just flew by, and spring break came along, and I had to go on a trip. I had to go traveling. And, yeah, I've got some topics written down here because I'm not good at coming up with topics on the fly. these are weird. I see fuck Austin. I see Sweet Home Alabama. I see lots of Fork Knife. Upgraded to Windows 10. That's not. Demon Dogma. Sick as fuck. Didn't get drunk. And almost died. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I almost died, apparently. I didn't find out until after the fact, but apparently I dodged a bullet. Not literally, but apparently I almost died. I'll save that for last. Yeah, what's the first thing I have written down here? Yeah, fuck Austin. Yeah. This is... Yeah, so I know what that is. It's in regards to my trip to where I was going, because we drove there. Because, like, we just drove 500 miles, and we had to go through Austin. And Austin, there was a lot of traffic. I mean, not traffic, construction. Well, traffic too, but mostly construction. A lot of the highways and exits were closed. You had to take specific exits because too many things were just under construction when we went during spring break. And at one point a fucking trailer got too close for comfort, and it scared us into taking a premature exit. And before we knew it, we were in the middle of Austin with no idea where we were going. We were going through Austin, not to Austin. So we had no intention of being anywhere inside Austin other than the highways and the freeways. So we had to like so thanks to the power of Google Maps, I was able to navigate us back to the highway we're supposed to be on. But still, fuck Austin highways. Fuck Dallas highways in particular. Those are a mess. Even when they're not under construction. Like, fuck that. Okay, how do I want to do that? Okay, I know what I want to do here. Delete all this. And, this is big enough? Yeah, that's big enough. Mm-hmm. Alright, no idea. Now you look down. Oh yeah, the Sweet Home Alabama story. I talked about this on Twitter during spring break. This was the very first day when we arrived at my aunt's place. My cousin, the one who got me drunk some years ago. So we were the adults, so we were often in charge of looking after like the kids. specifically my nieces and nephews, my cousin's kids, and they were having fun and all. And then I remember the first day, like when we arrived, it was either the night we arrived or the very next night. I don't remember. But it was the first day, basically. My cousin, she came along. Like, my little nieces and nephews were playing in the other room. And then my cousin came along. And she called them out with like a stern voice. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. What did they do? And she started talking to her daughter. No, wait, was it her daughter or another one of my nieces? No, was it her daughter or her sister-in-law's daughter? I don't remember. It was one of my nieces. No, it was... I have multiple cousins with multiple kids each. So, it wasn't her kid, it was another cousin's kid. that she was like, get over here. She has a very thick Texas accent. Like, get over here. I want to talk about your little friend. About your little friend. Her accent always makes me laugh. About your little friend. About your little friend. And apparently the little niece has a crush on this kid. And they never knew their last names. So my cousin asked for the kid's last name. My little niece told her the last name did not ring a bell for anybody. Like I was confused, my aunt was confused, my mom was confused, everybody was confused. No, like, that last name did not ring a bell for anybody. But apparently it did for my cousin. So, this is gonna get into some personal stuff. So, long story short, years ago there was a divorce in the family. And apparently the other party had a kid. Like, started a new family. And... oh god, this is more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So, they found out that apparently the kid that my niece has a crush on is actually related, either a kid or a grandkid of the other divorced party, which they are blood related. So the kid she has a crush on is actually her blood cousin. Like half blood cousin. And I don't know. My cousin was like, you need to like, when you meet somebody, you need to ask for their name or something like that. And I'm like, I didn't say anything, but it's like, I have a hard time explaining this myself. I can't really blame a tween for not realizing that this kid is related somehow. Although, to be fair, they do live in like a small rural town. In those small rural towns, everybody is related to everybody. So, in hindsight, I guess it couldn't hurt to ask, but it's like, I have a hard time wrapping my head around the specifics of this. I have a hard time explaining it, but So I can't exactly blame my little niece. Because like I said, that last name did not ring a bell for anybody. Not even my mom, not even my aunt, nobody. It was just my cousin who recognized that last name. I need some water. Alright, I'm back. Where was I? Oh yeah. Can't really blame my niece. Fortunately, nothing happened. It was just a crush that went... That probably came up loud. Throat was getting dry. I have not saved this. Like, I was having, like, I'm an adult and I was having trouble wrapping my head around the specifics of this. Like, I get it, but I was struggling a bit. I don't blame my niece for not getting it. But yeah, fortunately, nothing happened. It was just a crush. Like, they were just friends, nothing happened. So yeah, that's the Sweet Home Alabama story that I have written on my notes. Lots of fork knife, yeah. That's the thing about... Because the thing is, all of my nieces and nephews are like tweens and teens. They play a lot of Fortnite. So yeah, everybody on my friends list on my Switch, you probably saw me playing Fortnite quite a bit during spring break, and I still played it after I came back quite a bit because I got the battle pass and I was just grinding it since I came, and I was grinding it since I came back. Like, I'm getting all this stuff, like, because it costs money. So I'm like, I'm getting all this stuff. I don't care. It's actually fun with the game's actually fun with zero build. With zero build, like, build is annoying. I think that was one of the reasons I didn't play it. But it's actually fun with like no build. But yeah, I still play it on and off, though lately I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. Upgraded to Windows 10. Oh yeah, yeah, so apparently my aunt and my cousin have been trying to upgrade my aunt's computer for a while, for months. And then I showed up and I'm like, I think you might, because they tried to figure out how to upgrade it, but the only way they found was to buy it. Why is this not? The only way they found was to buy it, and at first I agreed because she was running on Windows 8, I believe. So, and I remember they were letting you upgrade. They were letting you upgrade for free for a while, but I thought it expired. So I did a bit of research, and apparently you can... So consider this a PSA. If you have Windows 7 or Windows 8, you can still upgrade to Windows 10 for free. That's what I found out in my quick bit of research. You can still upgrade for free to Windows 10 if you have Windows 7 or Windows 8. Because technically that promotion was supposed to have expired a while ago, but it's still technically going. And apparently my mom told me that apparently they were impressed that I got them upgraded. Although it wasn't easy because that computer they wanted to upgrade was the most... It was the most uncooperative computer I've ever encountered. Like, it kept freezing if you so much as brought up the start menu. It was old, I think. But yeah, I managed to get it upgraded. Upgraded for them for free, because apparently you can still upgrade for free. Even though it's supposed to, even though the deal was supposed to have expired by now. My throat is getting dry again. But yeah, I was basically the tech support the entire time I was there. Demon Dog, oh yeah. Not much to talk about there. Not really sure what's wrong with my aunt's dog, but apparently that thing was super nice. Now it's aggressive and ready to bite at any time. Not really sure what happened to it. But yeah, it was pretty creepy. Like that thing was just constantly snarling. Also it just kept walking around in circles. Like it didn't even, like it wasn't all there. They took the dog to the vet several times and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Perfect. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. But yeah, that thing was creepy. But that's nothing compared to me getting sick. Yeah, so... the thing about my relatives out there is they have the air conditioner on 24/7. Like, I had to wear like my jacket and warm-ups indoors constantly, even though it was freakishly hot outside at the time. And it's like going outside and being in the heat and then coming inside being in the extreme cold. Like that messes with you. And every time I go there, I always get sick with like a cold. So I was and this was the first time I've traveled anywhere since COVID. So I was expecting to get sick because I always got sick every time I go there. Like before COVID, I always caught a cold because of just being out in the heat and then going inside and being in the extreme cold. Even at night, it's like, yeah. And sure enough, I got sick and it was bad. No, actually, no. I got caught in the cold on the drive to their place because here's the thing. It was like bright and sunny leading up to spring break. We were not expecting a cold front because this spring break was cold and windy. And none of us and this is admittedly our fault, none of us bothered to check the weather. But yeah, none of us. But yet none of us bothered to check the weather. And on the road we stopped to like eat, and it was like windy and cold. It was so difficult to even eat. Like, we were covered in jackets, the wind was constantly blowing away the food. And it's like, man, it was cold. And the whole week was cold and windy. So yeah. And they still had the air conditioner on. Like 24/7, day and night. So we just like, I just got sick inevitably. Like, we were admittedly wondering if it was COVID. So I got a COVID test, came out negative, thankfully. Like, it was just a cold. But yeah, colds suck. Like, it takes a while to like, you'll live, but you can't really do anything because it leaves you weak. And then when it's done, you're not really done. Like, the recovery process was miserable. Every time I would like I remember every time I would bend over or look down, I would get like a headache, as if like some pressure was building or something. It was just bad. Right here. But yeah, it was bad. But yeah. Oh yeah, and last thing I said, I didn't find out until later, but apparently we almost died. Like, so here's what happened. On the road, we noticed that while we were heading towards my aunt's place, on the road we noticed that there was some rumbling in the car that was never there before. And we weren't sure what it was. But in the end we noticed it throughout most of the trip. So in the end we decided to just take it to a mechanic once we get over there. And in the final days, I think it was like 2 or 3 days before we left, we took the car to a mechanic, to a local mechanic, and apparently, I don't remember the details I don't know much about cars. A lot of what they said flew over my head because oh, they'll take care of it. That's what I thought. But it's like, apparently something in the wheel. I don't know what. I think it's the axle. I don't know. Something that the wheel is attached to, melted and fused together with something else. It might have been the axle. I don't know. I don't know anything about cars, and I've already forgotten a lot of what the mechanic said. But something that the wheel was attached to, fused with something else. And it's like, yeah, no, this is going to explode. No, not explode. This is going to blow out. And when it does, you're gonna spiral out of control. And it's like, it's a miracle you even made it here. Because we drove the whole way. We noticed it we noticed the rumbling like right away. Like as soon as we started the trip. Like we noticed it. And we didn't know what it was. So we drove the whole 500 miles like that. And the mechanic was like, it is a miracle that you made it the whole 500 miles like this. Because if this had given out, you would have spiraled out of control and it would have killed you all. And we were like, oh. So, yeah, and it was really serious because the mechanic was like, we are not gonna let you go home until this is fixed. This is serious. So yeah, it was bad. This total stranger was like forbidding us from going home, from going back home or going anywhere until the issue was fixed, until they fixed it. Like until then we were not allowed to take the truck anywhere, not even to go home. It took a couple of days. There were a few mishaps, like apparently they got sent the wrong part or something. And they had to travel to get one. Like at the last minute to get one. Like it was a whole, like it was its own whole like fiasco. But yeah, apparently I had a brush with death, and we had a brush with death and we didn't even realize it. So, yeah. That's why I wrote almost died on my notes here, because apparently I almost died and I didn't even realize it until after the fact. But yeah. Apparently it was a miracle we made it the whole 500 miles. Anyways, here's your... Speaking of death, here's your traumatized Larvitar, or whatever, this shiny Larvitar. I never mentioned what this is. I never mentioned what this animation was. It's supposed to be based on Tom's like Pokemon Scarlet live stream where he was shiny hunting. And he just massacred an entire ecosystem of Larvitar. That's why this Larvitar is all traumatized. It's a survivor and it's just looking at a pile of dead bodies. What does this mean? Xenogears? I've never played or even seen Xenogears, but I keep hearing it's good. Pillar of Salt. But yeah, that's pretty much all my notes, so I guess I'm just gonna talk about the actual animation itself. Very simple, very quick. It's just gonna... I think it's gonna be like 8 seconds. Uh... 15 looks good. It's not 2 hours, but close to it, and like I said, this is a very quick and simple animation. I'm not quite done with it yet, but this is like the main... Because here's like the main... Because here's like the main animation. Where he's just eating a sandwich.
Hey, you know, just shiny hunting.
Yeah, just shiny hunting. And there's his like traumatized Larvitar. This is not gonna be the whole animation. I am gonna edit this down. I just have a bunch of extra frames. Because I don't know how much I'm gonna need or how little I'm gonna need. So yeah. I think... Yeah, that's about all there. Okay. But yeah, that's about all there is to this animation. It's a very short and simple animation. I've only been working on this a couple of days, and it's only going to be like 8 seconds long. What did I just say? 8 seconds. It's only going to be like 8 seconds long, and I've already done all the animation. Like the main animation. I think all that's left is just drawing the extra backgrounds that are not even going to be animated. So yeah, it looks like everything went well. I'm not seeing any dropped frames or anything. It looks like everything went well. This would have been a 20-minute animation if I wasn't talking. This whole stream was basically just a podcast, so I guess it was fitting. So I guess it was fitting that it was set to just chatting for most of it. But yeah, that's... yeah. But yeah, it looks like this animation is mostly done. I just need to do backgrounds. I also need to do 2 more shots, but it's really just background images. Like, nothing's gonna be animated, so I don't think I'm gonna stream that. I think... So I think I'm done here. I think my... Let me see. Let me take another... Hang on, let me take another look at this. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to do a background... Oh... I'll do that here, actually. You know what? I'll just do the backgrounds. Also, it doesn't show you any of the windows. I have like some extra window... Like, whenever I'm messing with settings, it opens up a new window, but for some reason it doesn't show. It only shows if I use display capture, but display capture is dangerous because it captures everything. So trust me, I am seeing some windows coming up. But yeah, other than this, I'm pretty much done here. I think I'm still thinking about what I'm gonna do for my next stream. I'm thinking my next stream should be a gaming stream, because I'm thinking my next stream should be a game stream because I have not tested out my new setup with PC games. My last gaming stream back in February, it was... My last gaming stream was a console game, Monster Hunter Rise, specifically the Switch version, so it was a console game. I have not tried out PC games with my new rig. New. Quote unquote new. I've had it for like a year now. But yeah, I have not tried streaming PC games. I just need to figure out what I want to stream. Because I don't know. In the few months after my last stream back in February, I have like all these ideas for games that I want to stream, and very few of them are PC games. But I still need to test a PC game stream. I've already tested a console game stream. That worked out really well with no hiccups, surprisingly. And this stream, unsurprisingly, worked out well. An animation stream. But then again, Toon Boom doesn't really use that many resources. Let me blur it. But yeah, Toon Boom doesn't really use up many resources, so in a way it's not surprising that it went well. Like, I'm not seeing any drop frames, so I'm assuming it went well. I'm gonna look back at the VOD, see how everything went, to make absolutely certain. OBS doesn't say skip frames or drop frames or anything, but it looks like it went well, which is surprising. Well, I just said it's not surprising. The real challenge is gonna be PC game streaming, because console games, the console does most of the work. PC just has to capture the footage. Animation streams, Toon Boom doesn't use much resources. PC games, PC games, on the other hand, are competing with OBS. I need to try that out. It's not going to be this stream, but I'm hoping for next week, but I'm also hoping I don't pull another February and just go another 4 months without streaming. I'm gonna... No. What? Here we go. But yeah, I do want to stream a PC game. I'm thinking about streaming Monster Hunter World, because I do have that, and I have not started at all. I played that game for an hour, and I think it's that whole hour was literally just me on the character creator. So I think I might just start over. Or, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. Who knows, maybe next week I'll just say fuck it and do a console stream again, because I do have some ideas for console games that I want to stream. And maybe I'll just save the PC game test stream for later, because most of these streams so far have just been testing streams, so I think I'm done here, so I'm just gonna move over to my... Yeah, I think I'm done here. So I'm gonna move over to this screen. So yeah. I do want to stream again next week. Hopefully, I don't want to pull another February. So... if I can't think of what PC game to stream next week, I'm probably just gonna say fuck it and stream a console game. Though I just need to figure out which one I want to stream, because there are quite a few I want to play. I want to do a Resident Evil 5 professional run with infinite ammo turned on. I have infinite ammo for everything. I've never played Resident Evil 5. Let me move OBS over here. But yeah, with infinite ammo turned on, because I've never done a professional run of Resident Evil 5 before. And fuck that. I'm just gonna say right out of the bat. So yeah. Another one that I want to play is Minish Cap. Maybe do a 3-heart run of that, or just play it normally. I still haven't decided. And if I can't think of anything, I might just stream Tears of the Kingdom, even though I'm like a good ways into the game. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna play. It's either... but I do want to stream next week again. It will be a game stream. I just don't know if it'll be a PC game or a console game, or which one. I'm not good at planning things ahead, so it can be anything. But yeah, that's about all I've got for this stream. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, might be seeing you on YouTube in the near future, depending on whether or not I decide to start streaming on YouTube as well. Oh yeah, I never went into full detail on that. I think I only talked about the performance anxiety part. Another reason why I'm thinking about streaming to YouTube is because I know the situation has changed in the last few days, but at this point I think everybody has heard about Twitch making all these changes, and then going back on them, and then introducing this new program that probably only the top 5,000 streamers are going to see. It's like... but yeah, with everything that's going on, it's made me question whether or not to keep streaming on Twitch, which I know sounds weird, because I'm just streaming for fun, but it's like, even streaming as a hobby, I feel like I should be prepared to like stream on YouTube. I'm not gonna stream on Kick because I'm fully aware of the, let's just say, ethical issues surrounding it. I don't want to stream on Kick. So I think YouTube would be my main option. So I do want to start like streaming there, The only thing that's stopping me is my anxiety. Because again, I have 6,000 subscribers there. I know only a small fraction of them are actually going to tune into my live stream, and a lot of them will probably just leave after the first few minutes. But still, it's like... the only thing that's stopping me from streaming there is my anxiety, because I don't want to stream to too many people all at once, like right out of the gate. I want to gradually grow so that I'm more comfortable. Like, I'm a lot more comfortable with streaming to 0 people or even a small number of people right now. So, yeah. But yeah, oh yeah, future streams I might start adding the VTuber tag, because I guess I'm a VTuber now that I've got my own VTuber avatar that I made myself. I did talk about that in the beginning, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not sure if I might open commissions to make, mostly because, first of all, I would need to figure... First of all, I think my designs would be very simplistic, and also I'm not good at figuring out how much to charge for shit. So yeah. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Still need to decide what to stream. I have not decided. If I can't think of anything, I might just say fuck it and stream Tears of the Kingdom, or worst case scenario, Fork Knife. But yeah, thank you all for being here, and I'll see you all next week. I already said that. Yeah.